2020. Okay, our digital date is 5/12/20. All right, today in math, we are going to be starting our Chapter 7 review. This will be part 1 of the review. Okay, we will be completing pages 309 to 310 in your Go Math book. Okay, so that's going to be the first 2 pages of the review. Okay, we will complete the rest of the review tomorrow. So make sure today you're only doing these 2 pages. Okay? And just like how we did the Chapter 6 review, I'm going to go through and I'm going to read each problem and solve each problem, okay, showing you how I got my answer, okay, and reviewing the strategies that we have learned so far in this chapter. Okay, now I would like you to make sure you solve each problem first before you see how I do it. Okay, and you have 2 ways that you can do it. First way you can do it is you can solve one problem at a time, right? So you can pause the video now, go ahead, solve number 1, and then continue the video to see how I solved number 1 to see if you got the correct answer. Okay, then you will pause the video again, try number 2 on your own, and then continue the video to see what I get. And you would do that for each problem, okay? Or you can go ahead and do all of the problems on these 2 pages on your own, then go back and watch the rest of this video to see how I solve each one. Okay, either way is fine as long as you are watching this whole video to see how I solve each one. Okay, even if you think, oh, I know how to do this, this is easy, you still need to watch me go over it and you need to check your answers. Okay, because these type of problems are going to be the same type of problems that you will find on your Chapter 7 test, which you will be taking later on. Okay, so if you know how to do these and you watch me show you how to do them, then you should be able to do them for your test. Okay, all right, let's get started. Okay, we are starting on page 309 with our review. All right, and as I mentioned before, right, remember you can solve the problems first and then watch me to see how I solve it and to make sure you get the correct answer. Okay, for number 1, it says compare. Is the math sentence true? Choose yes or no. So to do these type of problems, we're going to go through each one and we're going to read it from left to right. Okay, remember we always start on the left side. So this one is saying 54 is greater than 45. Choose yes or no. Okay, 54 is greater than 45. Now, there's several ways that you can compare these numbers, right? You can simply use mental math, right, and picture both of these numbers. Okay, look at the tens place first to see if 54 is greater than. You can use your tens and ones and do a quick draw. Okay, for this first one, I am going to model using my tens and ones just to show us how we do that. So I'm going to make 54, okay, 45, and we're trying to see if this is a true statement. 54 is greater than, this is the greater than sign, 45. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 54 has 5 tens, and it has 4 ones. Okay, that is 54. Now we make 45. 45 has 4 tens. Remember, the tens place is going to be the number on the left side. It's going to be the number you see and the number you say first, right? We say 45. Okay, so 4 tens, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ones, okay? What do we notice about these numbers? Well, both the tens and the ones places are different. But remember, when we compare, we look at the tens place first. So 54 has 5 tens, 45 has 4 tens. So that means 54 has more tens. It is greater than 45. So that is a true statement. Right? 54 is greater than 45. right? It has more tens. So we bubble in yes. Okay, now we're going to go on to the second one. 37 is greater than 29. Now, of course, you can make both of these numbers using your tens and ones or drawing a picture to compare them. Or I can simply look at the number, okay, and we always look at the tens place first. 37 has how many tens? 3 tens. 29 has how many tens? 2 tens. So is this true, right? There's 3 tens here and 2 tens in this number. 3 tens is more. So that means 37 is greater than 29, right? It has one more 10 than the number 29. So we're going to bubble in yes. Okay, now we go down to this one. And this one, instead of saying the words, it has the symbol. And this is the greater than symbol because it has the open side towards the first number that you would read, right, and that you see, okay? So we would read it, 29 is greater than 43. Is that true? Okay, I'm going to show that quick on my board. 29 is greater than 43. And I'm going to do a quick draw with this one. 29 has 2 tens and 9 ones. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 43 has 4 tens and 3 ones. What's the first rule? Start with the tens. Okay, 29 has 2 tens, 43 has 4. So 29 actually has less tens than 43. So is this statement true? Is 29 greater than 43? No, because it has less tens. So actually the statement should be 29 is less than 43. Okay, so in our book here, 29 is greater than 43. That would be false. That is not true, right? It has the wrong sign. That should be the less than sign, okay? But it says greater than. Remember, it's greater than because it's showing the open side towards that first number, okay? So that says greater than, okay? But that is not true. Okay, let's go to the last one for this one. 55 is greater than 45. Is that true? Well, let's look at the tens place first. 55 has 5 tens. 45 has 4 tens. 55 has more tens, so that means it is greater than 45. So that is true, okay? So all of them were true except for the third one, right? Because it had the wrong sign. Okay, it should have said less than, right? Because 29 is less than 43. All right, let's move on to number 2. We're going to choose all the numbers that are less than 71. Less than 71. And how you're going to do it, you're going to say the number that is here, okay? And you're going to see, is it less than 71? So I'm going to write it out just so you can understand how you would read it, okay, how you would say it to yourself. It is telling you, is 62 less than 71? Is it? Well, look at the tens. 62 has how many tens? 6 tens. 71 has 7 tens. So that means 62 has less tens, and it is less than 71. Okay, so I would bubble in 62. It is less than 71. How about 80? Is 80 less than 71? Okay, is 80, 71 less? Let's look at it. Okay, 80 has 8 tens. 71 has 7 tens. So 80 is actually greater than, right? Because it has more tens. So it is not less than. So we are not going to bubble it in. Okay, how about 70? Is 70 less than 71? Let's look. That one is very close, right? Those two numbers are very close to each other. So I want to show that. So we have 70 and 71. Okay, 70 has 7 tens. 5, 6, 7. 71 also has 7 tens. 6, 7. And then 1, 1. Okay? So if we look at it, right, 70 has 7 tens. 71 also has 7 tens. So they have the same amount of tens. Okay, so we can't look at the tens place, right? They have the same amount. We have to then look at the ones place. Well, 70 has 0 ones. It doesn't have any ones at all. And 71 has 1 1. So that means, right, that 70 is less than, because it has less amount of ones. Okay, so 70 is less than 71. How about 49? Is 49 less than 71? It is, because if you look at the tens place, right, 49 only has 4 tens, and 71 has 7 tens. Okay, so that means 49 is less than. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 3. Circle the symbol that makes the math sentence true. Okay, so we have to pick the correct symbol, right? And remember, this top one, that is greater than, right? Because the open side is towards the first number you would read, right? This middle one is less than, because the small closed side, the pointed side, is towards the first number that you would read. And then, of course, the last one is equal to. All right, to compare these numbers, they've helped us by putting pictures, right? So we can see that 46 has 4 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 ones, okay? 58 has 5 tens and 8 ones. So remember, when we compare numbers, we look at the tens place first, right? So 46 has 4 tens, 58 has 5. That means 46 has less tens than 58, right? So 46 is less than 58. Where's the less than symbol? In the middle, right? Because this is the one that has the closed side towards the first number you would read. Remember, we read left to right, right? You would start with this number on the left side. 46 is less than 58. Okay, let's go on to number 4. Okay, for number 4, it says, Megan has these number cards. Write each number in the box to show less than 33 or greater than 33. So what we're going to do for this, we're going to go through to each number and see, is it less than 33, right? Is it smaller than? If it is, you would write it in this box, okay? Or is it greater than 33, right? Is it bigger than? You would write it in this box, okay? And if you notice, what do you notice about all these numbers? They all had 3 tens. They had the same amount of tens. So that means we need to look at the ones place, right? If the tens are the same, we look at the ones place, all right? So 33, less than 33, right? 33 has 3 ones in it. So we need to find numbers that have less ones than 3. 37, does 37 has less ones in it? No, right? It actually has more, right? 37 has more ones than 33. So that means I'm going to write it on the greater than side, right? Because it has more ones. How about 34? 34 has 4 ones, 33 only has 3, so 34 is also greater than. Okay, how about 31? 31 has 1 1, 33 has 3, so that means 31 is less than. Okay, how about 35? 35 has 5 ones, 33 only has 3, so 35 is greater than. And 32. 32 has 2 ones, 33 has 3, so that means 32 is less than because it has less ones. All right, let's move on to number 5. We're going to use mental math to complete the chart. Now this is 10 less and 10 more. But even though I'm going to be doing it with mental math, remember, you can use your 10s and 1s, right? You can also use a 120 chart to help you solve 10s and 1s, right? Remember, if you're looking at a number, okay, 10 less would be above it, 10 more would be below it. Okay, so here's the number 33. 10 less. What would be 10 less? Well, if 33 has 3 10s, and we take one of those away, we're left with only 2 10s, and that means the number would be 23. Okay, how about 10 more? Okay, so we have 33. We're now going to add another 10, right? Add one more to 3. 3 plus 1 is 4, so 4 10s. So we're going to have the number 43. Remember when you do 10 less and 10 more, the ones place stays the same, right? We're only changing the tens place, okay? All right, let's move on to 57. 57, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show using my 10s and 1s so you can visualize the number. So 57 has 5 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it has 7 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Now to get 10 less, I'm going to simply take away a 10. Okay? And what number would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 10s, and I still have 7 1s, so it would be 47, right? That would be 10 less. Okay, I'm just going to leave that here so I'll remember it for my chart. Now I'm going to get 10 more, but first I need to go back and start with 57. So I have my 5 10s, and I have my 7 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? For 10 more, we're going to add another 10. Okay, so now how many 10s do we have? Right? And when I add my 10s, I like to put my 10s together, so I'm going to move this over here. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s. And I still have 7 1s, so 10 more would be 67. So now I'm going to write that on my paper. Okay? 10 less is 47. It has 1 less 10. 10 more would be 67. That has 10 more. Okay, and now we're going to do number 6. This will be the last problem we're going to do for the review today. Okay, and then we will complete the rest tomorrow. All right, number 6 says, write a number that is less than 30. Right? Less than 30. So it could be any number that is smaller than 30. Okay? Now, so this problem, you can come up with different numbers, right? It could be 26, it could be 12, anything that's less than 30, right? And because 30 doesn't have any ones, we know that the number must have a less amount of tens, right? So it can be, so I'm going to do the number 26, okay? That's the number I'm going to use. And I know it's less than because it has less tens, right? It has 2 10s and 30 has 3. So how do you know your number is less than 30? Well, I'm going to say that. 26, and we could either say 26 has less tens, or we could say 26 only has 2 10s, and 30 has 3 tens, right? So that means, of course, that 26 has less tens, and that makes it less than 30. Okay, but as I mentioned, right, you can come up with a different number for this as long as it's less than 30 and you are able to explain it. Okay, most of your explanations though are going to be the same, right? They're going to have a less amount of tens. Okay, that's the only way to make a number less than 30. All right, so as I mentioned, you'll be stopping on 6. Make sure you've completed all of these problems. If you had any trouble with any of them or still have questions about them, please ask me. I am here to help you, and I will finish the review with you tomorrow. Bye.